Nets do get Harden, do they need to win the title this season having this type of talent?
Damn right, without question. And I'm going to tell you why, because the pressure is going to be immense. First of all, if you're KD, obviously everybody's looking at you, comparing you to LeBron and stuff like that. LeBron goes and he assembles a big three, then ultimately you one-upped him and went to Golden State and gave the ultimate big three. LeBron sits up there, AD is now in LA, so you go to Brooklyn, you got Kyrie, and then you get James Harden. So the pressure will be immense on him. There's Kyrie, because of all the things that Max has articulated throughout the years, and to a lesser degree, Kendrick Perkins. When you talk about the lack of leadership that Kyrie Irving may have shown from time to time, he elected to leave Cleveland to go to Boston. The situation in Boston didn't work out. He goes to Brooklyn. He only plays 20 games. Health was an issue and all of that stuff. Plus, he made some headlines. That's an issue. And then you've got James Harden. Remember, James Harden didn't want Dwight Howard in Houston. Ultimately, he didn't want Chris Paul in Houston. And then obviously, even though, again, and Kendrick Perkins knows this far better than me because he has those relationships with these guys, in particular Russell Westbrook. But Russell Westbrook made sure to reiterate to me, listen, his relationship with James Harden is big time. They're brothers, and they're going to always be brothers. We did not talk about basketball. Just the relationship that he has with James Harden, which he also articulated over social media first, by the way. His relationship with James Harden, they are brothers and they are tight, but that doesn't mean they want to play together. So as a result of that, Westbrook is planning on moving on. As a result of him moving on, James Harden is moving on. And so there's going to be some pressure to bear because with all of this money that Harden and KD and Kyrie are getting paid, along with the expectations, let's bring in the last element. You in Brooklyn, New York. You ain't in Utah. You ain't in Denver. You're in the Mecca, the media capital of the world. Now, obviously, the Knicks are in New York City, Madison Square Garden, but we should all be allergic to mentioning championship contention and the New York Knicks in the same breath, at least at this moment in time, even though I got faith in my man Leon Rose and Worldwide West. But the bottom line is, it's blasphemous and sacrilegious to talk championships and the Knicks. But Brooklyn ain't far away. It's less than 10 miles. It's less than 10 miles away. It's still a part of Brooklyn. It's one of the 5 boroughs. And there is going to be immense pressure. Immense. If the 3 of them collaborate, nobody going to give a damn. KP might be right about that starting 5 in Milwaukee. We might see Philly do some things. We know LeBron is in LA and whatever. But if those 3 assemble, no one is going to be interested in any excuses as to why they did not win. So if the 3 of them assemble, guys, you damn right they need to win the chip because the world will be watching.
Well, first of all, Brooklyn is even thirstier for a championship and I think is a bigger deal than a team winning it in Manhattan in the sense that Brooklyn hasn't had a championship in 65 years since the Dodgers left Brooklyn in 57, but they won in 55 to go to LA.
It feels like that with the Knicks. But go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. It's been almost 48 years for the Knicks. But Brooklyn is, I mean, the Nets are the team in New York. The Knicks don't even exist compared to the Nets right now. And let me say this. There is immense pressure for them to win. You're right, Stephen A. While they're together, I'm here saying it doesn't need to be in the first year. For example, if Harden goes to Brooklyn and they lose in the finals in a tough series to the Lakers or a team like that, it's all right, but they have to win while they're together. Even this year's Lakers team, I didn't pick them because it's hard to just throw a team together with guys who haven't played together, get all the complementary pieces right, get it all right to go all the way. We saw that with LeBron in his return to Cleveland. Went to a Game 6. Of course, they had injuries on that team, but that's part of it. KD's coming off of a catastrophic injury. And we saw it again, or we saw it before that when LeBron showed up in Miami with the big 3. You know, it takes sometimes a year to get it right with guys playing together. So I would say while there's enormous pressure for them to win while they're together, because KD, if he's most of himself even, is an MVP caliber player, so is Harden. And Kyrie may not be an MVP, but he's more than just an all-star. He's an all-star plus. You have 2 MVP caliber players and an all-star and then some. You're supposed to win a championship together. I don't think it has to be in the first year. And I wouldn't say that it's the kind of pressure, for example, when KD went to Golden State. It's like there was more downside. Like, guys, you have to win it. If you don't win a championship, that's sorry. I don't think people would be looking at this team like that's sorry if you don't win a chip. You got to get out of the East.
Max, please. Max, please. I don't want to hear that. If those three guys come together and James Harden come to the Brooklyn Nets, they have to win the championship. Matter of fact, without James Harden, in my opinion, it's championship or bust
this year?
KD comes back healthy. All right? Yeah, this year. So Stephen A. Smith spoke the gospel, and I have nothing to back that up. Everything he said was absolutely correct. But I want to address if James Harden is coming to Brooklyn. If was a fifth, we'll all be drunk. You know, my grandma used to tell me that. Right, Max? But listen, what
Granny.
I'm telling you is down here in H-Town, the Rockets are not willing to give up their drop-top Rolls Royce and trade it in for a Camry. They want something else. If they're going to trade in their Rolls Royce, they want back a Ferrari. They are not about to trade James Harden, the MVP candidate every year, the leading scorer in the NBA, for a guy for role players or future guys with a bright future. No, they want something back in return at an MVP caliber. Listen, if the Rockets trade James Harden and don't get back a star or an MVP type guy, it's suicidal to their organization, and it's going to set them back 5 to 7 years.
Hold on,
so
when I brought this point up the other day, you were all over me when I said that Dr. Buss told Kobe Bryant, you're a 5-carat diamond. I'm not trading you for 5 1-carats. You were here sitting here going, that's not the same, blah, blah, blah. Now you come back the following week, it's the same.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.